Broads Media.
Another miserable night in the Brody household. Shocker. Hey, if you're new here, hello, welcome. We break down Philly sports every day. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up button as well. I greatly appreciate it. You can search Sports Talk with Broads on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and take me on the road with you. If you leave a 5-star rating and a review, that will go so far. Thank you all so much. And lastly, if you're interested in Coffee with Broads live streams twice a week here on YouTube, you can join the memberships. All the information is down below. You also get access to our Discord channel. It's an absolute blast. Appreciate the love and support, and enjoy the show. You guys are all aware that DJ LeMahieu blows, right? I mean, he actually sucks. He hit 170 and one home run prior to this game. And he finishes the day with a grand slam and 6 runs batted in. You make me sick. Swept by the Yankees. 1-5 in their 6-game homestand. Okay, yeah, that's great. Great job. Bryce is in a 1-for-30 stretch. He grounds out into a double play, which is so fitting to end it. Here's reality, though. Nestor Cortez isn't afraid of him. There's nothing fancy going on here, people. Here's a fastball. I'm going to challenge you. You know what should happen if you challenge Bryce with fastballs? Nukes. I thought the post-game show actually did an amazing job of showing a slow-mo of a breaking pitch that was left right in the breadbasket for Bryce to deliver a 500-foot fucking bomb. Pop up to right field. It's an issue. Bryce was the one to say, it's on the stars, baby. Well, then let's go. I mean, he's never been in a funk like this. So it'll eventually get to the norm, but let's go. Here's why I'm not satisfied with any Phillies fan that takes the route of all good teams have bad runs. It's like 2 months. 2 months. A bad run would be maybe 2 series in a row where you come out flat. This is straight up embarrassing. And I think Rob was garbage with decision making. Again. First off, the lineup. Now, before you say Broads, there was a 12-inning game the game before. And it was a quick turnaround with this one essentially starting at noon. 12:35 to be exact. I gotcha. But I listened to Hunter Pence speak during the broadcast when he was in the booth with Crucky and T-Mac, and I thought he was an awesome listen. And he was asked about what it's like to be on a team when they are going through painful stretches like this. And something he mentioned was, you got to attack. Interesting. Matt Strom, yesterday, sure didn't attack. He didn't trust his stuff. He was scared of Juan Soto and Aaron Judge. So that was almost telling. But I do think that there are managerial decisions that can describe attacking. Are you okay with getting swept, Rob? Are you okay with that bottom of the lineup? And before you say, it's on Bryce, or it's on a Brandon Marsh with bases loaded and a right-handed relief pitcher on the bump, you can't strike out there. And I understand that, yes. I also believe, though, that Rob was okay with losing that game. Because attacking it would be, no, listen, I get it. You guys might be a little tired from a 12-inning game that you lost. We got to salvage this thing, fellas. Kick it into gear. So I just hate the mentality. Now, let's get to some in-game decisions. Why Ruiz? I want the breakdown on why you went to Ruiz after Christopher Sanchez. There's traffic. It's a really uncomfortable spot. So let's go to Ruiz? Made no sense. Allowing Garrett Stubbs to stay in the game and not pinch hit JT Realmuto. It's disgraceful. Garrett Stubbs ended up getting on. But I despise leaving it up to Stubbs. We can continue. Kyle Schwarber not getting pinch hit for. Or no. Sorry. Not pinch hit. Pinch ran for when he was on first base. Get somebody on the base paths that has speed and see if you can get them in scoring position. You are down a run. One run. Where's the urgency? Why Kyle Schwarber on the base paths as if he's going to be running and trotting and being a force out there? It's stupid. Get speed on the bases. What are we doing? And this is the same exact problem we had in extras with Bohm a day ago. Get Sosa in the game. He would tag up. So I think Rob is asleep at the wheel. Every night right now. Not always, right now. He's just as drunk as everybody else is who's struggling mightily. For as out of whack and out of sync Bryce Harper is, Rob, same ordeal. And it's a shame because Bohm had a couple of nice ropes in there. Nick had a couple of hits. Could you imagine what could have been done if the guy in front of them could at least be serviceable? Look, maybe you're not hitting 400 in a 2-week span, but can I get, I don't know, 280? 275? It doesn't have to be player of the month electric, but I can't have one for his last 30. A bunch of strikeouts and fastballs blown right by you. What was it, a couple of years ago? He had a very similar issue. Not getting timed up and getting abused with fastballs? No fear. That's almost as disrespectful as humanly possible to a talent like Bryce. Go after him. That's all. You'll be okay. And that's what Nestor Cortez is doing, who was dying to help out his Yankees team get a win. So they just took you down in your own ballpark. And speaking of it's a shame, I thought Austin Hayes had a couple of it's a shame that didn't go out type of hits. Thought there were a few actually in this one where, hey, listen, I know the result sucked, but I could live with it. It goes one of two ways, though. In a couple of weeks, if this continues, I'm going to say, all right. I mean, I remember not too long ago with Alec Boehm, he's getting there, the power's coming, he's starting to pull it, and I'm like, all right, maybe there's something to it. But then eventually I realized, no. Every time he's close. If it's never actually transitioning to homers and going over the wall, then stop with the he's getting close. It's not what he does. With Austin Hayes, I'm giving him a chance to prove to me that these balls that are going to left field, that are getting caught at the wall, or just an inch shy of the warning track and all, maybe just a little bit more comfortability here, and bada bing, bada boom, we'll start to see a bunch. I'm still holding optimism. Although I can change my opinion rather quickly if I realize that that's just who he is. He's the I'm close guy, but not actually providing enough oomph. He's missing just a tad of oomph. We'll see. I didn't think his at-bats were that terrible, though. When Marsh was at the dish with the bases loaded, you can't ask for a better matchup for him with the righty on the mound. You got lucky. Here it is. I mean, I even thought you got lucky with Nick Castellanos smoking a ball to the right side of the infield. And once again, Kleber, I suck at second base. Torres can't get his leather on it. Wow, it came off hot off the bat. It wasn't Stanton hot. It wasn't 120 miles per hour rip. The replay showed that he should have had it. So you would think that maybe this team could make Glaber pay. Nope. And this is a day where Aaron Judge went down a lot. And you still failed. So you have all these grade A chances throughout the last 3 games. And the other team is making crucial mistakes. Clay Holmes, balls in the dirt, balls going to the backstop. You got bases loaded, you can't score. And then I had to hear Rob hit us with this. I'm proud of the way they fought. Get real, dude. Get real. They were down 4-0, then it was 4-2, then they were down and they fought back. Really? Well, then at least keep it 100, Rob. If you're satisfied with their effort fighting back, which is fine. Yes, they didn't technically roll over and die, even though that is not the takeaway after such a dysfunctional series. Give it to us all. Okay. You liked their fight. What about the things that occurred that forced them to have to fight? Climbing up a mountain is never easy. So give me the tea. Give me what pissed you off, that aggravated you, that forced you to have to fight back. DJ LeMahieu sucks. He sucks. It's equivalent to Garrett Stubbs hitting a grand slam and then capping off his night with 2 more runs batted in later on. That's how poorly DJ LeMahieu is in the year 2024. We're talking 170. You let him beat you. And you get swept. Now with the day off, you're ready to fly to the West Coast. Is it possible that there's so much pressure and there's so much right now in regards to the fan base being upset and disappointed that being around the energy maybe comes as a disservice, if that makes sense? Meaning, get away. Go out west. Have fun on the plane. Have fun in the hotels. Kick it. Get something to eat. Get away. Go play on the road. You can breathe out there with not everybody down your neck, if you will. Who knows? I would like to think that there is a potential opportunity for that to happen, but I don't know how much of me just wants that to be the case. How much of this is me convincing myself that, oh yeah, don't worry about it, bro. All you got to do is leave South Philly. And then Bryce, with the temperatures out there, with the sunny skies, with the West Coast vibes, can take a deep breath with his day off and attack with the fresh slate. I hope that's the case. Bryce spoke about his mentality during his 1-for-30 stretch. I still can't believe that that's real. Am I up? Or is this a nightmare? Because it sure feels like one. Here's Bryce Harper.
A slump like this, do you sometimes try to different things at the plate, or just try to do what you normally do?
Yeah, I mean, I think just trying to keep going. That's it. That's all you can do. I've played a lot of baseball in my career, 1,600 games there today, so pretty cool being able to kind of do that here in Philadelphia. And going through stretches like this is part of the game. It's part of growing as a player, and just got to keep going. Keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on. It's the truth. It's the truth. And with Bryce, we know how talented he is. So it's a little weird. I got to be honest with you. Bryce is a superstar dominating force that's never giving us these bad numbers. This is out of the norm for Bryce Harper's down times. We all expect him to find it eventually and find it soon, because this can't live on forever. Just from a morale standpoint for myself, because if it does continue, I'm going to, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how I can handle it. I'm not sure how my body will take that in. It's not doing well right now. As you can tell, my body's shaking. I'm very uncomfortable right now, just thinking potentially what can happen if this is a 1 for 60, a 2 for 50. Oh! I just had sushi. I could taste the Connie. I can taste the salmon avocado. Okay? What else did I get? I got spicy crab meat. I had one called the chef's roll. No clue what was in it, but damn it was good. Scallops, shrimp. Jesus Christ, I wish I ordered more. I had a debacle happen. Grubhub, they ordered it to the wrong house in Central Jersey. I'm like, yo, dude, Central Jersey? This place is 3 minutes down the road. You sent it to Central Jersey? I left a whole little call on his phone, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? I watched a little car drive too far. Oh, it was a whole issue. I'm normally pretty good with that stuff. Like, don't overdo it. Don't get angry. It's not the poor kid's fault. I was a little hungry, though. Anyway, Bryce, we believe in you. It won't go on forever. He also touched on the past 2 to 3 weeks for the team. It's August. The next time they take the field, it's August. Think about how great it is mentally to be able to flip the calendar in a baseball season when things are not going your way. That could be your hard reset. Take a listen to Bryce.
Is this trip, Bryce, maybe a decent opportunity for you guys to kind of hit the reset button individually and as a team after what's happened the last 2-3 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've ran into some really good teams. I think obviously could have won some games that we didn't win. And then you run into Minnesota, first place in their division. And then you run into these guys as well. Can't remember who we played last time. Cleveland. So, I mean, you got 2 really good teams from the Central that came in here and did their jobs against us. And same thing with the Yankees. That's a really good team right there. So sometimes you got to tip your cap in baseball. Obviously, we don't want to play the game that way. We're a really good team, and we want to win every series, every game that we play. And that's not going to cut it if we do play that way, obviously. So I'm excited to turn the page to August. I think probably a couple other guys are as well. So just got to keep going, keep plugging along. It's a long season. Really good teams around us as well. So just got to keep playing our game.
I think he fixed himself a little bit in the early part of that answer, because he's giving a lot of credit to how good the opponents are that were on your schedule. And while there's absolutely truth to that and there's reality, you're supposed to be the best team in the game. You're supposed to be one of the scariest squads in all of the land. So no matter how good Cleveland is, no matter how good Pittsburgh is, no matter how good the Yankees are, and at the time, they really weren't. Like, they really weren't outside of that series in Fenway where they were able to secure the series with a Sunday Night Baseball win. They were terrible for a while, which shows you how quickly the vibes can change in favor for the Phils, and I do expect them to. I do. As down bad as I am, I truly, truly do expect to see a team that's ripping the cover off the ball, that's winning 7 of 9 games, that's taken 3 series in a row. Now, do I expect that to happen over this West Coast swing? Probably not, because I'm afraid of Dodger Stadium. I'm definitely afraid of Arizona, just because that place haunts me. I can't stand it. I don't know if it's the swimming pool. All right, this is what we got to do. All right, what we got to do is have our utility role players and even our new acquisition in Austin Hayes zip the mouth, because Garrett Stubbs was the one talking all sorts of smack last year in the NLCS. That came back to bite you in the rear end. Then we were also dealing with Johan Rojas saying, nobody comes in here and beats us. We're going to beat every single team. Good luck trying to take us down. And then you can't win it all in CBP, and you get swept in front of, well, I was going to say in front of your home fans, but it really wasn't. In front of Yankees fans that took over your own ballpark, but you failed since those comments were made. And then here's Austin Hayes coming here, and he's talking about having a better chance to do it than Baltimore. And, you know, listen, I like the veteran core that's been there over the last couple of years in the playoffs compared to a young and up-and-coming set of crazy talent in Baltimore. Just because experience matters. Owning the moment matters. Some of the guys are struggling to own the moment right now, but Bryce's track record in the postseason is pretty significant, to be fair. But it was almost as if, at least publicly, bulletin board material, media ran with it, whether he meant it or not in that way. It's just more Phillies talk. Hayes, Rojas, Stubbs. Shut it! That's my message for the day. Before we get to the Anytime Hotline, which we will get to momentarily, let me tell you real briefly about my friend Chris Gates over at Chris Gates Fitness, and he has his new online fitness training camp you are not going to want to miss out on. Chris has been an online fitness coach for over 6 years now. He's a massive football fan, spent his summers going to Eagles training camp growing up and to the vet as well. And if you're ready to elevate your health and fitness and do it with a group of like-minded people, you have to check this out. There's seriously so much packed into his training camp. I joined and I was blown away with everything you get as a member. There's customized monthly workout programs that help you build muscle, burn fat, and feel more athletic. There's Q&As with Chris, and there's such an awesome community. It's unbelievable. You get a chance to win prizes like home gym equipment, supplements, and so much more. If you join now with promo code BRODES, you will get so much off your first month. It's cheaper than Starbucks. It is a tremendous online fitness training camp that you are not going to want to miss out on. Visit chrisgatesfitness.com/training camp or click the link in the description and start your journey today. All right, let's run to the phones. Let's go to Rowdy in Syracuse.
Hey, bro, it's Rowdy from Syracuse. So, I was listening to the game on the radio. Mind you, I live in New York, so all my coworkers are Yankees fans.
Uh-oh.
Got my Fanatic headband on. I'm not sure why. Just getting laughed at. And you know what? It's deserved. This is so embarrassing. I don't even know where to start. Just no timely hitting. Giving up bags and just giving up hits. Like our pitchers aren't pitching. Hitters aren't hitting. And when we do hit, it's never enough at this point. I mean, I need Topper to literally walk into the clubhouse and smash a clipboard off of someone's head. Rip the whiteboard off the wall. Get in their chest. Do something. This common, easy bullshit is starting to... I don't care what our record is. We're not playing like it. It doesn't matter. We're going to give up our entire lead and some. Honestly, Harper needs to be, I think, at least for a short term, he needs to be benched.
Well, benched, no. Having an off day to reset, and the schedule kind of aligns that. As much as I think Bryce Harper is all over the map right now, and the numbers clearly back that up. I'm not some baseball expert here. Okay? Reality is, Bryce Harper is one of those guys that he tells you what he wants, and you have to live with that. That's what the big contract means. And it's not just any big contract. It's Bryce Harper's big contract. So, no, I think benching him is a little too far, and I get it. I'm just as emotional as anybody else, and I'm all in favor of Rob Thompson spitting all over everybody and his face turning red. I don't like this narrative that, you have to stay status quo because they're working hard, right? Trey Turner says we don't need any sort of team meeting because it's not as if there's some cultural issues here that we're not hustling, we're not working hard, we're trying to take shortcuts to get to our long-term goal. We're all doing the right things. We just needed to come together a little bit, and we're somewhat in a funk. And I understand that from a team meeting level. When it's a player-only meeting, players in the clubhouse airing out dirty laundry, no, I don't think it needs to be that level, right? Trey is on to something in regards to not needing to point fingers at one another and start ripping them apart. I've been a part of some team meetings, or player-only meetings. Sorry, huge difference. Team meeting, player-only meeting, two totally separate things. But the player-only meetings it gets nasty. People are getting called out. Not hitting a baseball isn't what makes it to the point where you got to start screaming at your own teammates insanely. Rob addressing the team with some fire, now that is open. That can be done. Just kick it into gear. What's wrong with that? You can apply urgency without it reaching this crazy negative form. Oh, you can't do that. They won't respond. Or, they won't respond. In 2 months, they became crap. If they can't handle that, then they're softer than what I even ever expected. You can't handle the manager going, this is unacceptable, fellas. Let's go. My God. So no to benching Bryce. Yes to Rob Thompson spitting. But not because he's angry at people specifically. More just, it creates like a wind turbine of fire. There's something that's in that clubhouse. You can feel it. Everyone's on their toes. They're jacked up. Because Topper, who never gets to that extreme, got to that extreme. And he only gets there in selective moments. He rarely does it. But when he does, it catches everybody in shock. And now when you head to the ballpark, everyone's wired up, ready to go to answer the bell that the manager just kind of put on display. Two totally different things between that and a player-only meeting. But all right, let's go to the next call.
Hey, bro, reacting to that disaster of a game there. Beginning of the game kind of felt like the Phils were going to phone it in today. Obviously, not the best starting lineup we could have put out there. Had some fighting us, but, bases loaded in the 8th inning, and it's too much for our stars to handle. The 9th inning, obviously, did not go great either. Couple good innings out of the back end of the bullpen, but gosh, it's terrible when Harper's going 0 for game after game. He's got to figure something out. All right, love your show. Thank you.
Well, thank you for calling in. He hit us with they showed fight. They did. I'm not discrediting that. Yes, when it was 4-0, they were scrapping runs across the board, and instead of it only being 4-1, which would have definitely hurt me more than seeing 4-2. 4-2 just seemed a little more reasonable at the time. All right, you slap it in half. Now it's 4-2. Let's go. Let's try and snag this thing. And Weston Wilson hits a shot, and now it's like, all right, fellas, here we go. There's some energy in the ballpark, and then, well, DJ LeMahieu again. Don't know how. He stinks. I don't know how. So, yes, they did fight back, but when you're in this losing streak and these series that are getting dropped nonstop, series after series, it's hard for me to appreciate it. Let's lay out a different scenario. Let's pretend they are on a 5-game winning streak. And then they happen to lose a game where they were down 5-0 after 3 innings, and then they lose 6-4. And we respect keeping their head down, going full throttle for the rest of the way, bases loaded in the 9th. You get one on the board to crack it into it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're right there, then you come up just shy. But they won so many previously, you go, all right, they'll be okay. I like their attitude right now. And then they go on and respond with another win, and it's a 7 of 9 stretch. And those 2 losses happen to be gritty efforts. Fine. But now there's no wiggle room. They don't have the luxury to sit back and analyze and say, we're really proud of how we went to work today. You know what I'm saying? At least that's how I interpret it myself.
Absolutely hopeless. Harper is just hurting the team right now, and he needs to be benched for at least maybe the first game of the Seattle series, just like what they did Trey Turner, right? I mean, when you go, don't even...
Yep. Not surprised at the result at all. I mean, Christopher Sanchez had 1 bad inning. I don't know why Rob Thompson's bringing in Jose Ruiz, literally our worst guy. And this offense just, with runners in scoring position, they're a no-show. I mean, the amount of pitches that they're just missing. I mean, Brandon Marsh, there was no chance he was hitting any of those pitches. They're right down the middle. They're not even good pitches. They're sliders or changeups right down the middle. Literally right down the middle, and he had no chance. He swung at 3 straight pitches. This team, even when they're hot, they're always going to come back to this. They have a bunch of guys that swing at bad pitches. They swing at everything. And they're home run or bust. I mean, a guy like Brandon Marsh striking out so much. I mean, this whole lineup, you have Turner, Schwarber at times, Harper, Real Muto, Castellanos is the worst with it. The only real guys that never really strike out a whole ton are Stott and Bohm, who actually had good games today, but team just sucks.
Game does suck. Yeah, Bryson Stott actually did a nice little how do you do off the bench for whatever that's worth, but similar to what I was just mentioning, when you are losing this badly, it is so desperate to grab onto Bryson Stott with a couple of rips to make us all happy. Same with the Austin Hayes thing. Cool, he did square up a few and probably deserved better luck, but reality is you just got swept at home by the Yankees. You just failed miserably again. And there's a lot of pressure on you. And what I've noticed from this group, not so much 2022 because I figured the Houston Astros were the better team by the end, and that was shown. Last year, though, there was pressure on you at home, Game 6, Game 7, and you couldn't do it. And now there's pressure on you right now to somewhat feel positive again. And they are definitely spiraling in the other direction. So I just wonder if it's more about when pressure's on them, things get really awkward. Anyway, this team bothers me. Thank you guys all so much. Appreciate it. I'll catch you on the next one.